and he's just looking at you like, who are you? That would be so traumatizing. Like, personally, I would melt. Hey everyone, and welcome in. My name is Talu, and on this channel, I make faith-based videos to encourage you as you fight the good fight of the faith daily. In today's video, I want to highlight a passage in the Bible that is pretty short, but honestly very powerful and really convicted me the first time I read it. So let's just jump right in. So the passage we're going to focus on today starts in Luke chapter 10 verse 38, and it's about two women named Mary and Martha, okay? It says, "Now as they were on their way, they being Jesus and his disciples, it says, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. But Martha was distracted with much serving, and she went up to him and said, 'Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me alone? Tell her then to help me.' But the Lord answered her, 'Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her.'" Now, when I first read this, I was like, dang, like, how is Jesus going to do Martha like that, right? Like, it was Martha who invited him into her house, and Martha who is running around trying to get him something to eat, something to drink, and make sure he's comfortable, right? And yet it seems like her efforts are going recognized but unappreciated, okay? Like, Jesus definitely recognizes that she's in the kitchen running around trying to whip up a meal, right? But rather than saying thank you, he calls her anxious and troubled. Like, if I were Martha, I would be really hurt, like, just to put that out there. But I think this is just another classic example of how Jesus was extremely countercultural. Had this same exact situation taken place in our present day society, Martha would be the one getting all the accolades, and we would all be looking at Mary sideways like, are you about to help her? Or and I think for those of us living in capitalist societies especially, we are so used to being rewarded for hustling and grinding and putting in the work and being in our bag, like whatever you want to call it, right? I know for me personally, I was raised in a household that really emphasized maximizing the time and making every minute count. And my mom always used to say, like, why push to tomorrow something that you can do today? Which has resulted in me feeling like I always need to be doing something in order to be productive and feel accomplished at the end of the day. But I realized at a certain point that I was applying this same mentality to my relationship with Jesus. I would feel so unaccomplished and even ashamed almost that I wasn't, like serving on the worship team and volunteering at church and leading a Bible study all at the same time, literally. And I would honestly feel like I was failing God and that he was disappointed in me because I wasn't doing enough. But I've since realized that that was me trying to earn God's love and approval and attention, when that's not something that we can earn, like, it's freely given and it's just up to us to accept it or not. And so this verse brought a lot of freedom for me in showing me that Jesus doesn't need me to be doing, like X, Y, Z, and H, trying to please him, and would much rather prefer me just chilling with him, Like, have y'all ever wanted to just chill with somebody and not do too much? Jesus goes so far as to say that Mary chose the good portion and that it would not be taken away from her. Like, this is the ideal situation for him. That is why we are called human beings and not human doings, as Pastor Mike Todd would say, which kind of sounds like a cliche, but has a lot of truth to it too. This also reminded me of another passage in Matthew where Jesus is talking to his disciples about Judgment Day, and he says in chapter 7, verse 22, he says, "On that day, many will say to me, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do many mighty works in your name?' And then I will declare to them, 'I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness.'" Which again had me like, dang. Imagine spending your whole life busy doing things that you felt would please the Lord, only to get to that last day standing right in front of him and he's just looking at you like, who are you? That would be so traumatizing. Like, personally, I would melt. But it just goes to show that at the end of the day, what will truly matter is the relationship that we have with Jesus and not all the things that we've accomplished in our lives. Like, Jesus already accomplished everything that needed to be accomplished for us on the cross. And so now it's just a matter of getting to know him and developing a relationship with him. Which, if you're curious on how to do this, a good first step would be to start spending time in the Word of God. I am 100% sure that doing this would deepen y'all's relationship in ways that you couldn't even imagine. Let me know in the comments down below if you can relate to being a busybody when it comes to your relationship with Jesus. I am really hoping that I'm not the only one here. I hope this video encouraged you and maybe even provided some freedom as it relates to what serving the Lord could look like. Until next time, let's keep fighting the good fight of the faith, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!